Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. All right, guys, the content that we have got to talk about tonight is all the buzz in the leftist mainstream media circles. I'm sure you guys heard about it, but apparently, according to CNN and other sources, firearms are now responsible for more deaths in the United States than motor vehicles. My sniff test kind of went off, and so what I did for this video is I dove deep into the actual report that they're citing. There's a little bit more that they're not sharing because there's a nuance in the description that does not match with the descriptions of their media titles and headlines. We're going to dive into this deeply. You guys let me know in the comments below if you think that they are correct. Did firearms actually pass motor vehicles in death, or traumatic death as they call it, or is something else going on? And I look forward to hearing what you guys think in the comments field. Everything is going to be linked for your review if you'd like to go deeper into this study itself. And I want to hear from you guys right after a quick word from our sponsor, which made this video possible. Our sponsor, Armed American Supply, is a small, family-run business owned by a retired law enforcement officer and his wife. They design, print, and ship everything in-house from their shop in southern New Jersey. Currently, they have a weekend sale for a huge 30% off site-wide. Now, for this material, that's a lot. It's a big percentage. If you are the type who loves quality Second Amendment and blue-collar apparel, I think you might be interested in checking them out. There is a link in the description box right below that lets them know that I sent you their way, and I'd love to have your support on that. And again, let me hear what you guys think in this comments field below, and let's dive into this because we have got some work to do, okay? Now, here we go. Here's the article, at least one of them. There's a lot of other ones, some from NPR, but this is the CNN article I chose. Guns overtake car crashes as leading cause of U.S. trauma-related death, study says. Now, this came out 2 or 3 days ago. We've been busy, but it came out on Wednesday, and I've been really studying it. But notice what they're saying here. Guns overtake car crashes as leading cause of U.S. trauma-related deaths. Okay? Now, that's very, very specific language, but when you get into the article, listen, this is where the breadcrumbs started to come out, and I dove a little bit deeper and wait until you see what I found. CNN. Firearm deaths have overtaken car crashes are the leading cause of death by trauma in the U.S., according to a new study. In 2017, there were 1.4 million years of potential life lost due to firearm deaths, edging out that of motor vehicle crashes by 1.37 million years, according to the study published Tuesday in the Journal of Trauma, Surgery, and Acute Care Open. Now, here's the important thing you have to understand for this entire video, all right? They made this comparison not based on the actual deaths of each category. They made it by something called YPLL, years of potential life lost. Essentially, what that means is if the average person lives 80 years and someone dies in a car crash at 20, that means they lost 60 years of life, okay? They apply that exact same calculation to firearms and to motor vehicles, and that's what they're saying passed over motor vehicles as firearms the leading cause. A little bit different than the actual numbers, but let's keep going. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Quote, the main argument is that the right to bear arms to prevent injury or to defend against aggressors may result in a small number of preventable deaths is a plausible theory. However, the data reveals that the resulting access to firearms has equated to magnitudes of death due to firearm suicides in the same individuals demanding access to firearm, the researchers wrote. Now, just kind of a spoiler alert, the big increase in what they're calling YPLL, years potential life lost, is due to suicides. That's just a side note, but let's keep going. I'm going to show you what they're talking about. So I followed the breadcrumbs, and this is the actual study. This is the title of the paper, Firearms. The leading cause of years of potential life lost. Well, that's a little bit different than guns overtaking trauma deaths, isn't it? Let's dive in. I'm going to show you a graph first. Here's one of the first graphs. There's 8 figures represented in the conclusion of the study. Here's the first one I'm going to pull for you. Total firearm deaths by mechanism, 09 to 18. Notice how suicides is on an upward trajectory consistently and does not stop, but homicides takes a bump and then dives. So all the data that they're pulling from, all the YPLL in this study, is directly related to firearms suicide. Keep that in mind. The big increase that they're citing is from suicide, not from homicide, not violent crime or commission of crime, self-inflicted harm. Very important. This is why they lump everything in gun violence, even suicides and homicides. That's why they do this. Again, this is a macabre topic. I don't like talking about this, but it does require us to dive in. Now, Here's the actual results from the study. During the course of the study period, the total 10-year cumulative YPLL for motor vehicle collisions and firearms were 12.9 million years and 12.6 million years, respectively. Firearms surpassed MVC as the leading cause of traumatic death in 2017, as there was 1.4 million YPLL due to firearms compared to 1.37 YPL due to motor vehicles. They are claiming that firearms killed more people now because the amount of years lost in a hypothetical assumption. That's what this study is stating. It's a little bit different than the way it's presented on people like NPR or CNN, and that's why I wanted to bring it to you. Let me know what you guys think in the comments field below. I hope that I landed this plane. Like I said, let me know, and I will see you tomorrow morning on the bullet points. I'm Braden. See you later.